The Warrior's Heart. Chapter 1, The Disguise. Lyria stood at the edge of her family's farm, gazing out over the fields that stretched toward the horizon. The late afternoon sun bathed the landscape in a golden glow, but the beauty of the scene was lost on her. She knew that danger was looming. Rumors of an impending invasion had been circulating for weeks, and the small village of Eldoria was unprepared for such a threat. Lyria's father, a respected blacksmith, had always taught her to be brave and resourceful. He had raised her to be strong, but he could never have imagined the lengths she would go to protect her family. With her heart heavy and her resolve steely, Lyria made a decision that would change her life forever. That evening, as the village gathered for a meeting to discuss their options, Lyria listened intently to the militia captain's call for volunteers. She knew that her younger brothers were too young to fight and her father was too old. If anyone was going to defend their family, it would have to be her. But there was one problem: women were not allowed to join the militia. Lyria spent the night in her father's workshop, crafting her disguise. She cut her long, dark hair short and fashioned a set of armor that would fit her slender frame. She studied the way her father walked and talked, practicing until she could mimic his mannerisms perfectly. By the time the sun rose, Lyria had transformed herself into Lyn, a young man ready to join the militia. With a mix of fear and determination, Lyria approached the militia captain the next morning. She kept her head down, her voice steady as she introduced herself as Lyn. To her relief, the captain accepted her without question, and she was quickly assigned to a training group. As the days passed, Lyria threw herself into the grueling training regimen. She pushed her body to its limits, determined to prove herself capable of fighting alongside the men. Her fellow soldiers, including a charismatic and skilled warrior named Thane, began to take notice of the quiet but tenacious young recruit. One evening, after a particularly exhausting day of training, Lyria sat alone by the campfire, staring into the flickering flames. Thane approached and sat down beside her, offering a rare smile. "You did well today, Lyn," Thane said, his voice warm and encouraging. "You've got the heart of a warrior." Lyria's heart swelled with pride at his words, but she knew she couldn't let her guard down. She thanked him with a nod, keeping her voice low. "Just doing my best." As Thane walked away, Lyria's thoughts turned to her family. She missed them terribly, but she knew that her sacrifice was necessary. She had to keep up the charade, no matter how difficult it became. With each passing day, Lyria's skills improved, and she earned the respect of her fellow soldiers. But as the threat of invasion grew closer, so did the weight of her secret. She knew that the time would come when she would have to choose between revealing her true identity and continuing to protect the people she loved. And so, with her heart as her shield and her determination as her sword, Lyria steeled herself for the challenges that lay ahead. She was ready to face whatever dangers awaited her, for she was not just a warrior in disguise, she was a warrior at heart. Chapter 2, Training and Bonding. Lyria, now known as Lyn, settled into the routine of militia life. The early mornings and grueling training sessions tested her limits, but she pushed through, driven by the memory of her family and the desire to protect them. She quickly realized that the physical challenges were only part of the battle. Maintaining her disguise and fitting in with the other soldiers required constant vigilance. Her efforts did not go unnoticed. Thane, the charismatic and skilled warrior, took an interest in Lyn's progress. He often offered tips and encouragement, helping her improve her swordsmanship and endurance. Despite his friendly demeanor, Thane remained a bit of a mystery to Lyria. She sensed there was more to him than met the eye. One evening, as the soldiers gathered around the campfire, Thane approached Lyn with a grin. "Mind if I join you?" he asked, settling down beside her before she could answer. Lyria nodded, her heart pounding. She had grown accustomed to Thane's presence, but the proximity still made her nervous. "Of course," she replied, keeping her voice steady. Thane studied her for a moment before speaking. "You're doing well, Lyn. You've got potential. But there's more to being a warrior than just skill with a sword. It's about heart and courage, too. Lyria looked into the flickering flames, thinking about her family and the village she was fighting for. I understand, she said softly. I have people I need to protect. Thane's expression softened. We all do, he said, his voice laced with a hint of sadness. That's what keeps us going. As the days turned into weeks, Lyria and Thane grew closer. They trained together, sharing stories and learning from each other. Lyria found herself drawn to Thane's strength and compassion, but she kept her feelings hidden, fearing the consequences of revealing her true identity. One afternoon, during a particularly intense training session, Thane challenged Lyn to a sparring match. The other soldiers gathered to watch, eager to see the outcome. Lyria's heart raced as she faced Thane, their swords clashing in a flurry of movement. Despite her smaller stature, Lyria held her own, surprising Thane with her agility and determination. The match ended in a draw, with both warriors panting and grinning at each other. Not bad, Lyn, Thane said, clapping her on the shoulder. You've come a long way. Lyria smiled, feeling a surge of pride. Thanks to your help, she replied, grateful for the bond they had formed. As the threat of invasion loomed ever closer, the militia intensified their preparations. Lyria knew that the true test of her disguise and her resolve was fast approaching. But with Thane by her side, she felt a glimmer of hope. Together, they would face whatever challenges lay ahead, united by their shared determination and unspoken feelings. And as Lyria looked around at her fellow soldiers, she realized that she had found a new family within the militia, one that she would fight to protect with all her heart. Chapter 3: The First Battle. The air was thick with tension as the militia prepared for their first real battle. Word had come that the enemy forces were advancing, and the villagers of Eldoria had no choice but to stand and fight. Lyria, disguised as Lyn, felt a mix of fear and determination as she readied her gear alongside her comrades. Thane, ever the stoic leader, moved through the ranks, offering words of encouragement and strategic advice. When he reached Lyria, he placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. Stay close to me, Lyn. We'll get through this together. Lyria nodded, grateful for his support. I will. Thank you, Thane. As the enemy approached, the militia took their positions. The clash of swords and the cries of battle soon filled the air. Lyria fought with all her strength, her heart pounding in her chest. She was determined to protect her village and prove herself as a warrior. Despite the chaos around her, Lyria's training paid off. She moved with agility and precision, her sword striking true. She defended her comrades and took down enemy soldiers, earning the respect of those who fought alongside her. At one point, Lyria found herself separated from Thane. She scanned the battlefield, her eyes locking onto a group of enemy soldiers closing in on a wounded comrade. Without hesitation, she charged forward, her sword slicing through the air. Hold on! She shouted, her voice fierce and unwavering. The wounded soldier looked up in surprise as Lyria fought off the attackers, her movements a blur of strength and determination. When the last enemy fell, she knelt beside her comrade, helping him to his feet. Thank you, Lyn, he gasped, his eyes wide with gratitude. You saved my life. Lyria nodded, her expression serious. We look out for each other. Now, let's get you to safety. As the battle raged on, Lyria continued to fight with unwavering resolve. She found herself beside Thane once more, the two of them working in perfect harmony. Thane's respect for Lyn deepened as he witnessed the bravery and skill she displayed on the battlefield. When the dust finally settled, the enemy forces had been driven back, and the village of Eldoria was safe for now. The militia gathered to assess their injuries and count their losses. Despite the fatigue and the pain, there was a sense of camaraderie and triumph among them. Thane approached Lyria, a proud smile on his face. You fought like a true warrior today, Lyn. You have my respect. Lyria felt a surge of pride and relief. Thank you, Thane. It means a lot coming from you. As the village celebrated their victory, Lyria's thoughts turned to her family. She had fought to protect them, and she had succeeded. But she knew that this was only the beginning. The enemy would return, and the challenges ahead would be even greater. With her secret still intact and her resolve stronger than ever, Lyria vowed to continue fighting for her village and the people she loved. She was not just a warrior in disguise, she was a warrior at heart, and she would face whatever battles lay ahead with courage and determination. Chapter 4: The Secret Threat. The village of Eldoria breathed a temporary sigh of relief following the hard-fought victory. However, Lyria knew that the enemy's retreat was only a pause in the storm. The militia remained vigilant, repairing their defenses and preparing for the next wave of attacks. One evening, as Lyria wandered through the militia camp, she overheard a hushed conversation between two soldiers. She instinctively ducked behind a nearby tent, straining to hear their words. "Are you sure the plan is set?" one soldier whispered. "Yes," the other replied. "The traitors within the militia will strike when the time is right. The village won't stand a chance." Lyria's heart raced. She had stumbled upon a dangerous plot that threatened not only her fellow soldiers but also her family and the entire village. She knew she had to act quickly, but the risk of revealing her true identity loomed over her. That night, as the campfire flickered, Lyria approached Thane, her mind racing with the information she had uncovered. She hesitated for a moment, then took a deep breath. "Thane, I need to talk to you. It's important." Thane's expression turned serious as he led her to a quieter area of the camp. "What is it, Lyn?" Lyria's voice trembled as she recounted what she had overheard. "There's a plot within the militia. Traitors are planning to strike and destroy the village from within." Thane's eyes narrowed, his jaw clenched. "Are you certain?" Lyria nodded, her determination unwavering. "I heard it with my own ears. We need to gather evidence and expose them before it's too late." Thane placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "We'll get to the bottom of this, Lyn. But we need to be careful. We can't let anyone know we're onto them." Over the next few days, Lyria and Thane worked covertly to uncover the traitors' identities and gather evidence against them. They moved cautiously, aware that any misstep could lead to their discovery and the failure of their mission. Despite the tension and danger, Lyria found solace in Thane's presence. Their bond grew stronger as they navigated the treacherous path ahead. Thane's unwavering support and trust gave Lyria the strength to continue, even as the weight of her secret pressed down on her. One evening, as they reviewed their findings, Thane looked at Lyria with a mixture of admiration and concern. "You're incredibly brave, Lyn. I don't know how you do it." Lyria's heart swelled at his words, but she knew she couldn't let her guard down. "I'm just doing what needs to be done. We all have people we need to protect." As they prepared for the final confrontation with the traitors, Lyria steeled herself for the challenges ahead. She knew that the time would come when she would have to choose between revealing her true identity and continuing to protect the people she loved. With Thane by her side, Lyria felt a glimmer of hope. Together, they would face whatever dangers awaited them, united by their shared determination and unspoken feelings. And as Lyria looked around at her fellow soldiers, she realized that she had found a new family within the militia, one that she would fight to protect with all her heart. Chapter 5: Unspoken Feelings. The tension in the militia camp was palpable as Lyria and Thane continued their covert investigation. Each day brought them closer to uncovering the traitors, but the weight of their secret mission took its toll on Lyria. She couldn't shake the feeling that the walls were closing in around her, and the risk of exposure grew with every passing moment. One evening, after a particularly challenging day of gathering evidence, Lyria found herself sitting alone by the campfire. The flickering flames cast long shadows on the ground, mirroring the turmoil in her heart. She thought of her family, the village, and the burden of the secret she carried. Thane approached quietly, his presence a comforting reassurance. He sat down beside her, his expression thoughtful. "You've been distant lately, Lyn. Is everything all right?" Lyria forced a smile, her heart heavy with the weight of her unspoken feelings. Just tired, I guess. It's been a lot to handle. Thane studied her for a moment, his eyes searching for answers. You don't have to carry the burden alone. We're in this together. Lyria looked into his eyes, feeling a surge of gratitude for his unwavering support. She wanted to confide in him, to tell him the truth about who she was, but the fear of losing his trust held her back. Thank you, Thane. Your support means a lot to me. As the days turned into weeks, Lyria and Thane's bond deepened. They spent long hours training, strategizing, and sharing stories by the campfire. Thane opened up about his past, revealing the hardships and losses that had shaped him into the warrior he was today. Lyria listened intently, her heart aching for the pain he had endured. One night, as they sat by the fire, Thane spoke of his dreams for the future. I want to see a world where people can live in peace, without fear of war and violence. A place where families can thrive and dreams can come true. Lyria's eyes shimmered with emotion as she listened to his words. That's a beautiful dream, Thane. I hope one day we can make it a reality. Thane's gaze softened, and for a moment, it seemed as though he could see through her disguise. With people like you by my side, I believe it's possible. Lyria's heart swelled with affection for Thane, but she knew that her secret would always stand between them. As much as she longed to reveal the truth, the fear of losing his trust and the respect of her fellow soldiers held her back. As the militia prepared for the final confrontation with the traitors, Lyria knew that time was running out. She would soon have to make a choice: reveal her true identity and risk everything, or continue to fight in the shadows, protecting the people she loved. With Thane by her side, Lyria felt a glimmer of hope. Together, they would face whatever challenges lay ahead, united by their shared determination and unspoken feelings. And as Lyria looked around at her fellow soldiers, she realized that she had found a new family within the militia, one that she would fight to protect with all her heart. Chapter 6: The Betrayal. The tension in the militia camp reached a boiling point as Lyria and Thane gathered enough evidence to expose the traitors. Every moment felt like a balancing act on a knife's edge. The danger was real, and one misstep could lead to disaster. One stormy night, Lyria and Thane sat huddled in Thane's tent, reviewing their plan to confront the traitors. The rain pounded against the canvas, matching the urgency in their hearts. We have enough evidence, Thane said, his voice low but firm. We need to act now, before they have a chance to strike. Lyria nodded, her resolve unwavering. Agreed. We need to catch them off guard. The two warriors gathered a small group of trusted soldiers, sharing their findings and rallying them to the cause. The atmosphere was charged with a mix of fear and determination as they prepared for the confrontation. As they moved through the camp, Lyria couldn't help but feel a sense of impending doom. She had come to care deeply for her comrades, and the thought of betrayal within their ranks was a bitter pill to swallow. The traitors, led by a cunning soldier named Varric, were gathered in a secluded area of the camp, discussing their plans. Lyria and Thane approached quietly, their hearts pounding in unison. Varric. Thane's voice cut through the night like a blade. We know what you're planning. It's over. Varric's eyes widened in shock, but he quickly recovered, his expression turning cold and calculating. You're making a mistake, Thane. You have no idea what you're up against. Thane stepped forward, his sword drawn. We have all the evidence we need. Your plot ends here. A tense standoff ensued, with the traitors realizing their plans had been foiled. A fierce battle erupted, the clash of swords and shouts of fury filling the air. Lyria fought with all her strength, her heart pounding in her chest. In the midst of the chaos, Varric made a desperate move to escape, but Lyria was quicker. She intercepted him, her sword blocking his path. It's over, Varric. Surrender. Varric sneered, his eyes filled with malice. You're a fool, Lyn. You think you've won, but this is just the beginning. Lyria's resolve hardened. We will protect this village, no matter the cost. With a final, decisive strike, Lyria disarmed Varric and brought him to the ground. The other traitors, seeing their leader defeated, quickly surrendered. The camp fell silent, the tension slowly dissipating as the threat was neutralized. As the traitors were taken into custody, Thane approached Lyria, his expression a mix of relief and admiration. "You did it, Lyn. You saved us all." Lyria's heart swelled with pride, but she knew that the battle was far from over. The enemy forces were still a looming threat, and her secret remained intact. "We did it together, Thane. But we can't let our guard down." Thane nodded, his respect for Lyn deepening. "You're right. We need to be prepared for whatever comes next." As the militia regrouped and assessed the damage, Lyria couldn't help but feel a sense of accomplishment. She had protected her village and earned the trust of her comrades. But the weight of her secret still hung heavy on her heart. With Thane by her side, Lyria knew that they would face whatever challenges lay ahead together. United by their shared determination and unspoken feelings, they would continue to fight for the people they loved. And as Lyria looked around at her fellow soldiers, she realized that she had found a new family within the militia, one that she would protect with all her heart. Chapter 7, The Reckoning. The dawn broke over Eldoria with an eerie calm, the silence a stark contrast to the chaos of the night before. The traitors had been captured, but the real enemy still lurked beyond the village's defenses. Lyria, disguised as Lyn, felt the weight of their victory tempered by the uncertainty of the battles yet to come. Thane, ever the leader, addressed the militia with a mixture of pride and resolve. "We've overcome one threat, but our fight is far from over. We must remain vigilant and prepare for the final battle. Our village, our families, and our future depend on it." As the militia prepared for what they knew would be a decisive confrontation, Lyria felt the strain of her secret pulling at her heart. The bond she had formed with Thane and her comrades was stronger than ever, but the risk of exposure loomed larger with each passing day. One afternoon, as she sharpened her sword, Lyria caught sight of Thane approaching. His expression was grave, and she knew that he had something important to discuss. "Lyn, we need to talk," Thane said, his voice tinged with concern. "I've been hearing rumors about your true identity." Lyria's heart raced, panic rising in her chest. "What do you mean?" Thane took a deep breath, his eyes searching hers. "Some of the soldiers are saying that you're not who you claim to be. That you're hiding something." Lyria's mind raced, trying to find a way to deflect the conversation. But she knew that the time for secrets was running out. "Thane, I..." Before she could continue, a commotion erupted at the edge of the camp. Shouts and the clanging of weapons filled the air as a group of enemy scouts launched a surprise attack. The militia sprang into action, their training and instincts kicking in. Lyria and Thane fought side by side, their movements fluid and synchronized. Despite the chaos, their bond was unbreakable, their trust in each other unwavering. As they pushed back the attackers, Lyria knew that she couldn't keep her secret any longer. Once the battle was over and the enemy scouts had been repelled, Thane turned to Lyria, his eyes filled with a mixture of frustration and concern. "Lyn, we need to finish our conversation. I need to know the truth." Lyria took a deep breath, her heart pounding in her chest. "Thane, I have something to tell you. But please, hear me out before you judge." With that, she began to recount her story, her decision to disguise herself as a man to protect her family, her journey into the militia, and the struggles she had faced along the way. She spoke with honesty and vulnerability, her voice steady despite the fear of rejection. Thane listened in silence, his expression unreadable. When she finished, he took a step back, his eyes filled with a mixture of shock and hurt. "Lyn, Lyria, why didn't you tell me sooner? Why did you keep this from me?" Lyria's eyes filled with tears as she faced him. "I was afraid, Thane. Afraid of losing your trust, of being cast out of the militia. But I couldn't stand by and do nothing while my family and village were in danger." Thane's expression softened, and he took her hands in his. "I understand, Lyria. But you need to trust me, just as I trust you. We're in this together. As the militia prepared for the final battle, Lyria felt a sense of relief mixed with determination. Her secret was out, but the bond she shared with Thane remained strong. Together, they would face whatever challenges lay ahead, united by their shared resolve and unspoken feelings. And as Lyria looked around at her fellow soldiers, she realized that she had found a new family within the militia, one that she would fight to protect with all her heart. Chapter 8, The Final Battle. The village of Eldoria stood on the precipice of its greatest challenge. The militia, now aware of Lyria's true identity, rallied together with renewed determination. The betrayal had tested their unity, but the revelation of Lyria's bravery and sacrifice had strengthened their resolve. The final battle was upon them, and every soul in the village knew that their survival depended on the courage and skill of the warriors who stood ready to defend them. Lyria stood beside Thane, her heart pounding with anticipation. The sun was beginning to set, casting a golden glow over the landscape. The enemy forces were approaching, their numbers vast and formidable. But Lyria knew that she was not alone. She had the support of her comrades and the unbreakable bond she shared with Thane. Thane turned to her, his expression resolute. "This is it, Lyria. We fight for our families, our village, and our future. Are you ready?" Lyria nodded, her eyes shining with determination. "I'm ready, Thane. We'll face this together." As the enemy forces advanced, the militia took their positions, their swords and shields at the ready. The clash of steel and the roar of battle soon filled the air, a symphony of chaos and determination. Lyria fought with all her strength, her movements swift and precise. She defended her comrades and struck down enemies, her heart driven by the love and duty she felt for her village. Despite the overwhelming odds, the militia fought valiantly. Thane and Lyria moved as one, their swords dancing through the air in perfect harmony. They faced wave after wave of enemy soldiers, their resolve unshaken. At one point, Lyria found herself separated from Thane. She scanned the battlefield, her eyes locking onto a group of enemy soldiers closing in on a vulnerable villager. Without hesitation, she charged forward, her sword cutting through the air with deadly precision. "Stay back!" she shouted, her voice fierce and unwavering. The villager looked up in surprise as Lyria fought off the attackers, her movements a blur of strength and determination. When the last enemy fell, she knelt beside the villager, helping them to their feet. "Thank you," the villager gasped, their eyes wide with gratitude. "You saved my life." Lyria nodded, her expression serious. "We look out for each other. Now, get to safety." As the battle raged on, Lyria's strength and resolve were tested to their limits. She fought with a ferocity born of love and duty, determined to protect her village and her comrades. Despite the chaos, her thoughts were never far from Thane. When the dust finally began to settle and the enemy forces were driven back, the militia gathered to assess their injuries and count their losses. Despite the fatigue and pain, there was a sense of camaraderie and triumph among them. Thane approached Lyria, a proud smile on his face. "You fought like a true warrior today, Lyria. You have my utmost respect." Lyria felt a surge of pride and relief. "Thank you, Thane. It means a lot coming from you." As the village celebrated their hard-won victory, Lyria's thoughts turned to her family. She had fought to protect them, and she had succeeded. But she knew that this was only the beginning. The enemy would return, and the challenges ahead would be even greater. With Thane by her side, Lyria felt a glimmer of hope. Together, they would face whatever dangers awaited them, united by their shared determination and unspoken feelings. And as Lyria looked around at her fellow soldiers, she realized that she had found a new family within the militia, one that she would fight to protect with all her heart. Chapter 9, The Aftermath. The village of Eldoria stood in the quiet aftermath of the battle, the air filled with a mixture of relief and mourning. The villagers began to emerge from their homes, their faces etched with a blend of exhaustion and gratitude. The militia, battered but victorious, gathered to tend to their wounds and honor the fallen. Lyria, her disguise as Lynn now unnecessary, walked through the village, her heart heavy with the weight of their victory. She knew that while they had triumphed, the cost had been great. The faces of her fallen comrades haunted her, a reminder of the sacrifices made to protect their home. As she approached the central square, she saw her family waiting for her. Her father's eyes filled with tears as he embraced her, his voice choked with emotion. "Lyria, you did it. You saved us all." Lyria returned the embrace, her own tears mingling with his. "I couldn't have done it without the help of my comrades. We fought together." The villagers gathered to celebrate their victory, but the mood was somber as they honored those who had given their lives. Thane, ever the leader, stepped forward to address the crowd. "Today, we stand as one stronger and more united than ever before. We owe our victory to the bravery and sacrifice of our warriors, and to Lyria, whose courage and determination inspired us all." Lyria felt a surge of pride and gratitude as the villagers applauded. She had faced incredible challenges and emerged stronger, not just as a warrior, but as a leader and protector of her village. Later that evening, as the celebrations continued, Thane found Lyria sitting quietly by the edge of the village. He sat down beside her, his expression thoughtful. "You did something incredible, Lyria. You showed us all what it means to be a true warrior." Lyria smiled, her heart swelling with emotion. "I couldn't have done it without you, Thane. Your support and guidance meant everything to me." Thane's gaze softened, and for a moment, there was a silence between them, filled with unspoken words and shared understanding. "I was hurt when I found out about your disguise, but I understand why you did it. You were protecting the people you love." Lyria's eyes glistened with tears as she looked at him. "I was afraid of losing your trust, of being cast out. But I couldn't stand by and do nothing while our village was in danger." Thane took her hand in his voice gentle. "You showed incredible bravery, Lyria. And in the end, you brought us all together. I forgive you, and I respect you more than ever." As the village celebrated their hard-won victory and mourned their losses, Lyria felt a sense of peace settle over her. She had fought to protect her home, and in doing so, had found a new family within the militia. With Thane by her side, she looked towards the future with hope and determination. The final battle had been won, but Lyria knew that the challenges ahead would be many. Together, they would face whatever came their way, united by their shared resolve and unspoken feelings. And as Lyria looked around at her fellow villagers, she realized that she had found her true place among them, a warrior at heart, forever dedicated to protecting the people she loved. Chapter 10, The Warrior's Heart. The village of Eldoria slowly began to rebuild in the wake of the battle. The scars of war were evident, but so were the signs of resilience and hope. The villagers worked together to repair their homes and tend to the wounded, their spirits buoyed by the knowledge that they had protected their home. Lyria, now recognized as a true warrior, found herself at the heart of the village's efforts. She moved through the bustling streets, offering a helping hand and a reassuring smile to those in need. Her strength and determination had inspired many, and her presence was a source of comfort to the people of Eldoria. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the village, Thane approached Lyria. He had been busy coordinating the reconstruction efforts, but he had never been far from her thoughts. "Lyria," Thane said, his voice gentle. "Can we talk?" Lyria nodded, following him to a quiet spot near the edge of the village. The sounds of the bustling village faded into the background as they sat together, the weight of their shared experiences heavy in the air. Thane took a deep breath, his eyes meeting hers. "I've been thinking a lot about everything that's happened. About you, and about us." Lyria's heart raced as she listened, her feelings for Thane still strong and unwavering. "What are you thinking, Thane?" Thane's gaze softened, and he reached out to take her hand in his. "I was hurt when I found out about your disguise, but I understand why you did it. Your courage and determination saved us all. I can't imagine facing the future without you by my side. Lyria's eyes filled with tears as she squeezed his hand. I never wanted to deceive you, Thane. I did what I thought was necessary to protect the people I love. Thane smiled, his expression filled with warmth and understanding. And you succeeded. You've shown us all what it means to be a true warrior. I forgive you, Lyria, and I respect you more than ever. As the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, Lyria and Thane shared a heartfelt conversation about their future. They spoke of their dreams and aspirations, their hopes for a peaceful and prosperous Eldoria. The bond between them grew stronger, built on trust, respect, and love. The days turned into weeks, and the village of Eldoria slowly healed. The militia continued to train and prepare for any future threats, but there was a renewed sense of hope and unity among them. Lyria and Thane worked together, leading by example and inspiring those around them. As the village thrived, Lyria found herself embraced by a new family within the militia and the community. She had proven herself as a warrior, but more importantly, she had shown the depth of her heart and her commitment to protecting those she loved. Lyria and Thane stood together on a hill overlooking the village, their hands entwined. The future was uncertain, but they knew that they would face it together, united by their shared experiences and unspoken feelings. The warrior's heart had triumphed, not just on the battlefield, but in the bonds of love and loyalty that bound them all. And as Lyria looked out over the village she had fought to protect, she knew that she had found her true place, a warrior at heart, forever dedicated to the people she loved.